Halfway between Shibuya and the Tama River on the edge of Tokyo is Setagaya-ku. This map is courtesy of Google Maps. Setagaya-ku is one of the 23 wards of Tokyo. In this quiet area of mostly family homes and apartments lives the artist behind Bokumondoh. During this video, while I'm talking about Hiroko Makino, the creator of the lovely Urushi pens that the whole fountain pen world just loves, I'll be showing clips and shots of some of the pens that she has worked on, along with some stills that Jacob of Fudafan has taken. Across the street from this old traditional Japanese entrance is the studio of Bokumondoh. It is definitely a creative artist's studio, but still in keeping with the traditional Japanese tastes. This is where Hiroko consults with her clients and keeps track of her business paperwork. Across from this table holds the many books that she inherited from her father about the Japanese samurai Yamaga Sako, who codified the basis of Bushido, the way of the warrior. It also holds her kamidana, Shinto spirit area, and various tea implements like this chazutsu here on the left. All in all, her studio respects Japanese tradition. Hiroko enjoys dried flowers, and you can see them all over the place. Urushi is a Japanese traditional natural lacquer. It's made from sap that's collected from the Urushi tree. Pure Urushi is pretty much well clear, and colors are made by adding minerals and pigments to the Urushi. Lacquering was declared as an important intangible cultural property in 2017 by the Japanese government. Tsugaru lacquerware is traditionally produced in the Tsugaru region in Aomori Prefecture. In 1997, Hiroko moved to Aomori to study under Kizomasa Fujita, a former member of the Aomori Prefectural Industrial Research Institute in Hirasaki. Aomori Prefecture is in the northern part of Honshu, which is the main island of Japan. And this map is also courtesy of Google Maps. Urushi is cured and not dried, and is cured under very precise conditions from 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and 75 to 80% humidity. Humidity plays a very important part in the curing process. Keeping that in mind, this is Hiroko's curing cabinet, with the top being the drier area with a small dehumidifier and the bottom being the more humid area. She sprays water on cardboard and then closes off the door to keep that area more humid. She cures pens in this high humidity bottom portion, mainly in the wintertime. While we were messing around with the cabinets, she pulled out this sword scabbard that she's working on. To illustrate how important humidity is, both these sticks have the same color urushi on them, the urushi that's in that bowl. And the one on the left-hand side, the darker one, was cured in a more humid environment, and the one in her right hand was cured in a more dry environment. Here's another look, the same color urushi, but it comes out in different colors depending on the humidity. Here's another example, and on this board, the right-hand side was cured in more humid conditions and the left-hand side in drier conditions. So according to the season, which is very much affected by temperature and humidity, colors will not come out the same. Urushi is a traditional Japanese art, not a production line, and she wants to emphasize that even if you ask for something exactly like a picture that she has posted, it may come out different depending on when that pen was made in the picture and when she actually works on yours. Perhaps you would be best off if you just picked a color family that you enjoy and keep an open mind. Both Jacob from Fudafan and I have pretty much given Hiroko free rein in what to do with the pens that she urushis for us, and I have always been pleasantly surprised. Lately, she's been getting a lot of email with a really high amount of very detailed requests, and she's worried that these people might be a little disappointed. She's hired an assistant to handle this back and forth, and she would really like first-time customers or people she can't meet face-to-face to try to order something similar to a picture that she has posted. For instance, Hiroko will not accept work that involves motifs like galaxies or universes, because there's an incredible amount of back and forth and it's open to a lot of miscommunication, and she's worried that the client will not be satisfied with the end product. Many times she'll experiment with something and try it and then realize it really isn't going to work out after all. So sometimes you may see something like that, but in the end it isn't something that she would like to repeat. My pen friend Dan, Hiroko, and I went to a pizza restaurant for lunch. The restaurant was next to the Miyanosaka train station, which had an old train car open for display. It was pretty cool because you could walk around inside of it. Dan was there to pick up his pen, a Keras Custom Vertex. He ended up getting a blue Ishime Nudie finish sprinkled with aluminum powder. After lunch, we then went to Setagaya Hachimon Jinja, or the Hachimon Shrine, which is near Hiroko's house. On the shrine grounds itself is a sumo dohyo where they can hold small sumo matches. As Hiroko walks around the shrine, we'll talk a little bit about the use and care of urushi. Urushi should be used. It grows better with use. When it's not in use, store it away from UV light. A fully cured urushi is strong and durable and can withstand mold and mildew and some mild acid, alkaline, and alcohol. But UV light and dryness is its enemy, so protect it from both. But ultimately, its beauty grows through its use. And lastly, we went to the omikuji machines, and I was surprised there is even one in English. You put money in and you get a little slip of paper with your fortune on it. There's a theory that fortune cookies came from this. And Hiroko got Daikichi, which is the great blessing. It's the best one. And we're back at Hiroko's studio, and she's going to show us how she applies a clear coat of lacquer over a pen that she's working on. Right now she's cleaning her brush, and she's using a wooden heta to help her with that. She then cleans off her work surface, applies some urushi to her brush, and again works it with the wooden heta or spatula. And she does this a couple of times. And you can see where she applies that clear lacquer to the tip, how much shinier it is than the lacquer on the bottom. That's the textured part, and then she applies multiple coats of the shiny part to make it all smooth. That lacquer has a super high gloss for this particular pattern. And then she puts the pen in a styrofoam holder to start the curing process. And then she puts on gloves and cleans all of her equipment, her brushes and her spatulas. And that liquid she is using is kerosene. And these are the thin abalone pieces that she cuts up to do Raden decoration. Interestingly, the kanji for Raden, the ra part means shell and the den part means inlaid. So it's inlaid shell. That makes a lot of sense. Once the Raden has been set and all the colored urushi has been set, and underneath the final layer of clear urushi, she uses this to kind of buff out and polish that upper layer. And as she does that, you can slowly see the Raden come out and start to sparkle. These are pictures from Hiroko's website, bokumondo.com. On it is all kinds of pictures of beautiful Urushi fountain pens. The current waiting list, which right now is about 6 months. Rough starting prices for her work. And in order for her to Urushi a pen, it either needs to be clipless or she needs to be able to remove the clip. And it has a list of different pens in which you can remove the clip. From the time she receives your pen, it'll be about 2 months for her to finish it. And for first-time clients, remember, she would prefer that you pick a style that's already posted on her Instagram. And this is a before picture. I noticed the imprint on the side, and this is what Hiroko did to it. So check out her website for both idea designs and instructions on how to order. And here's Hiroko telling you a little bit about herself.
やっぱり日本人の人たちよりも漆の良さをすごい分かってもらってるってことかな。もう日本人にとって漆って短すぎるから、当たり前すぎてて、お客さんも少なくなってきてるけども、でも海外の人たちはその漆っていう天然の塗料に関してすごくいい反応を示してくれるのが嬉しいのと、あとは私は津軽塗りっていうすごく狭い世界の漆をやってるけども、津軽塗りって言ったり変わり塗りって言ったりするんですけど、そのすごく日本の中でも珍しいテクニックの漆を、例えばカリフォルニアカンパニーとかインドの漆の工房とかいろんな他の海外の工房もやり始めてくれてることがすごく嬉しいですね。守るっていうよりも、その技術を使って自分のスタイルを作っていきたいっていうスタイル。なので、最近はあんまり津軽塗りっていう言葉を使わずに、なんで変わり塗りをっていう言葉を使うかっていうと、その幅が広がるから、スタイルの幅が広がるから、そういうふうに言ってるんですけど、やっぱり自分のスタイルを伝統の技を使って新しいことをしていくっていうことが日本の伝統だっていうふうに私は先生に教わったので、その技術を使いながら新しいものを自分のスタイルを作っていくっていうことが日本の伝統だと思います。若い時とか売れない時はとにかく注文があれば何でも作って何でもトライして、何が一番お客さんに受け入れられるかっていうのを本当にいっぱいやった中で、最終的に今はというか万年筆の前は刀の鞘が一番多かったんですけど、もう今はもう本当に 80% 万年筆になっちゃって、でもどっちもすごく好きなので楽しくやってます時々お客さん、海外のお客さんとかお客さんに送り返す時にちょっとその万年筆を使ってメッセージ書いて送ってます私もほとんどもう今はもう何十年も海外に行ってないんですけど、今本当に 80% は海外で、特にアメリカのお客さんが多いんで、いつかね機会があればメールとか SNS での交流だけじゃなくて実際に会ってみんなと話して、あんまり英語喋れないですけど、漆ってこういうものだよとか、あとこういうことができないからあなたの希望を聞いてあげたいんだけどできないんだよとか、そういうことを直接 説明してあげたりとかしたいなと、いつかアメリカかわかんないけど行ってみんなと話せればいいなと思ってます。早くコロナがね終わって落ち着けばいいなと思ってます。
So check out the Bokumondoh website and Instagram account. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. I'll pass them along to Hiroko.